Hello, everybody. So, I apologize for a series of very quick fire videos coming at you in almost all directions. However, I felt the need to explain a few things because a little bit of a different form of video, and I apologize if I look a little bit out of it. It's because I have been up for not a considerable large amount of time, but during all throughout today, I have been busy, like non-stop. And I think I've got enough left in my tank for about to stay awake for at least another hour. And then that's about it. So, of late, I'm saying this, I think this has been ongoing for about 8 days now. I think my channel has been somewhat shadow banned by the powers that be. Now, for those who don't know, shadow banning is what happens when you're not banned off a platform, but your videos are systematically oppressed, and it means it's either incredibly difficult for other people to see them, or they will just become noticeable again when YouTube, however they want to do it with YouTube specifically, they want to start recommending your videos, long form, short, whatever it may be. By the time they want to start doing that, then they will. Now, I have absolutely no idea because you would have to take this conversation to somebody who knows far more about the mechanizations of algorithms and stuff like that than I do, because apparently I'm not exactly alone in this little debacle. Because I heard a lot of other people have been quote unquote shadow banned, and it's appalling to hear because whether you want to argue whatever algorithm is determined by, whether it's determined by audience retention or the amount of people that come back, or whether it's even you start to gain a new following on amongst a different community, whatever the case may be, it shouldn't be determined by factors that are completely out of your control. Like, if YouTube wants to pursue the idea of wanting to exercise making long form videos the mainstay, then perhaps they can do it. But at the end of the day, if people want to watch things, then guess what? You can't tell them what they can and cannot watch. It's as simple as that. There are certain things that are a little bit beyond the control of the powers that be. Now, this has had a little bit of an effect on my videos, certainly, because at one point I was looking at nearly 10,000 new viewers a day. And about 8 days ago, it dropped to about 40 a day, which is a pretty substantial drop, all things considered. It's not exactly as if I've, been up to no good or anything like that. It just, for whatever reason, just seemed to tip. Now, with that being said, starting tonight, I am going to continue with my the production for videos and stuff like that is going to continue no matter what, because it would be ridiculous. It's the death of any YouTuber if they just stopped putting out videos. Sad as it may seem, ladies and gentlemen, take it from me, through my experience, the only way you're ever going to win at this whole YouTube game is, for the lack of a better term, you have got to get your videos out there. You've got to get something out there for your audience to watch, and when they watch it, they will determine exactly what they think of you and see exactly where it goes from there. It's not like people will comment down below saying, not a nice video, but unfortunately we won't be coming back. People don't say that. They just don't come back. They vote with their feet. Or with YouTube, they vote with their eyes. Now, with that being said, that still doesn't exactly explain shadow banning, really, because it seems as if just videos are being hidden, videos are being taken away, because technically quite a lot of my videos do talk about progression in one shape or form. And progression is not one of those things that just stops just because you seem to think I've given up on the idea. when nothing could be further from the truth. What is ongoing at this moment, ladies and gentlemen, is that tomorrow is the 15th. We'll be entering the 3rd week of January. And for those who have seen my videos or have stuck around to know just sort of what my rhetoric is, if you will, I've placed more importance on dates, times, minutes, and memoranda than at any other stage of my life, because guess what? Time is short, and at some point everybody will run out of time. You, me, everybody eventually runs out of time. Soon, or well, not soon, but at some point, I will be, as they say down south, brown bread. Medical term for curtains. You will understand. But I'm certainly not brown bread yet. I've still got stuff to do, and maybe not all the time in the world to do it, but that's why it was during today that I started making a start, like in really big ways. Like, for example, I put more effort and force into my time at the gym this morning than I think I've ever done, past, present, and certainly going forward for the next couple of months, it's going to get even better than before, because I am changing, ladies and gentlemen. That's the way I'm going to put it. And quite a lot of the goings on of this channel is, well, I'll do a separate video talking about what the actual story is of this channel, because it's kind of been a part of the story for well over nearly 8 years at this stage. So there is a fair bit of backstory to what goes on. Anyway, with that being said, tomorrow we are pretty much almost entering the halfway stage of January, and guess what? It's come around surprisingly quick. But guess what? It means there isn't much time left until we get to the very end of January. I'll be turning 28 years old by the time we get to the end of January. And I've got to start, well, pulling away from the pack, doing things absolutely like the world has never been seen before by then. I find out on Friday the 16th as to whether or not I've been successful in a job interview I had yesterday. By roughly about the middle of February, I'll know whether or not I've been successful as a qualified railway track and service engineer. There is an awful lot riding on my shoulders over the next couple of weeks. And I made a point to mention this at several points earlier this year, but let me just paraphrase it again for those who may have missed it. You know, when some people are sort of lagging behind and you tell them to suck it up, be a man, pull your finger out, otherwise you're going to be cut away and stuff like that, and only the fittest will survive. All that malarkey. Well, for my turn of phrasing is a little bit different. You see, I would say to myself to stop and give up. Don't fight it, accept it, especially if you don't want to change. Because when that change comes in, be prepared to work bloody hard. And we've got to get rid of all this crap when it comes to stalling and not doing things immediately. I've said it many times before, ladies and gentlemen, that there are only 2 types of people now on this earth. Those who can't or won't, and those who can and do. And believe you me, ladies and gentlemen, I think as every single day goes by, and just in this year alone, we are pushing ourselves further and further and further into the can and do category. Because guess what? I've been living with anxiety, doubts, and all those bad things for far too long. And it didn't seem to occur to me until far too late that nobody could care less about whether or not I was going through any of these, because it didn't concern them, and it didn't matter whether or not they were willing to help me out or not. And so therefore, I had to learn how to help myself. it was a difficult patch and a difficult reality to accept, but at the same time, that's how we got here. But we're not staying here. We have to go even harder than that. So, when you think about it, do you really think that you think I really have what it takes to go even further beyond and to really be the absolute best that I could possibly be? Or am I really only interested in staying exactly the way I am? Because that's the harsh reality of it all. Because you've got to make a choice between one of the two. You can't have it both ways. So tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, once again, very similar to how it was earlier today. Get up 7 a.m. Go to the gym. Stay there till at least 11 o'clock. Put everything in until I feel like my back is about to break. Work and work, work, work. Come home sweaty, exhausted, confused. Go for a 2 mile walk immediately after it. Get home by 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Shower. Have a 2 hour power nap. Get ready to resume work. Because let me tell you now, ladies and gentlemen, we're entering the second half of January. It means we step up a gear. Because guess what? YouTube may think they can shadow ban me, but I am unbound, unchained, out of control, uncontrollable. You can't stop the raging reality. You heard it here first, everyone. So, good luck.